Tell you what, I will put our opening song, our opening jingle, whatever you want to call it, against anyone else's show out there. Boy, our stuff is hot. If I do say so ourselves, our stuff is hot, boy.
Hey man,
God, oh
we we just in a good space, man. Great,
yeah.
the show's getting better. We got the great format that you set up. You know, I'm trying to catch up technology wise a little
Come on,
bit,
catch up, brother.
but at the end of the day, though, man, at the end of the day, I think that we can go toe for toe with any of them
Definitely,
when it
definitely.
comes to this subject. So
Yeah, we getting our name out there. Shouts out. All right, folks, welcome to Team No Sleep. Y'all know what it is. This is what we do. But I will iterate that too as well, because me and Montel been chopping it up behind the scenes a little bit. I sent them some text messages this week. We in the DMs of some folks. And if they watching tonight, it would be nice. And hopefully we'll see them in the comments as well. We got some everyone is winners. But we got some A-listers for sure that I messed around and got in the DMs of. And we either gonna get them on the show or we're gonna have them in the comments one of these days, and I'll be like, oh, there they go. There they
yeah,
go.
absolutely.
Yeah. Listen, man, first and foremost, since we talk social impact, not just of sports, we can't not talk about Texas. We can't not talk
Yes.
about the flooding that's going on there. And my goodness, 200 miles of the Guadalupe
Uh,
River from 3 feet to 30 feet in about an hour is kind of the projections that I heard.
yeah. I
That's
mean,
crazy.
I mean, that's crazy. That's literally crazy. It's unheard of. I've never heard of that. I've been around this. I've been around this world. I mean, I've been living on this earth for a long time, and I never heard that happening that fast and causing so much damage and tragic to so many people. Especially when they were talking about those little girls. Remember those
Yeah.
12 girls that were
The
missing in
kids
that
at the
camp?
Christian camp. Yeah.
That broke. Yeah, that broke my heart, man. And for this to be happening, and it seems like we can't stop it, right? We can't get a hold of it until it kind of settles itself. It's scary, man. It's scary times, man. And I think people laugh at me at the end of the show, or they kind of poke fun when I always say, check on your loved ones and figure out what's going on. But I mean, it's real because tomorrow's not promised to nobody.
No
I
promise.
think we really, really got to take that to heart, man. Honestly.
And again, you never expect you send your kid to Christian camp. They've been doing it for years. I've been
Hmm.
watching the stories, a lot of these stories, year after year after year. Right there on the water, beautiful, probably environment, learning how to do things. I saw one mother talking about the camp. They not only learn how to fish and cook and just have fun with their campmates. The girls learn how to change tires. Right, so they learning
Oh
life
wow.
skills out
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
right? So it's dope like that. So for this to be this tragedy to happen, and I know there's a lot of other folks that were affected by this, but me and my we dads, so we gonna gravitate to what's
Man,
happening with the youngsters there.
hey, you know what's wild? I saw a story, man, and I can't think of the athlete's name, and it killing me right now. I'm just having a brain freeze.
Hmm.
But there's one athlete or entertainer. He just got a bunch of money. He was out there. He was out there handing out water and stuff
Wow.
like that, and no one recognized him until one of the people they recognized who he was. And if I remember the name by the end of the show, I'll tell it, or I'll remember next week. I'll remember. But I remember reading the story. He was out there. He gave a bunch of money not onto to the thing. I think he gave something like $100,000 to the cause, but he also flew himself out there to help out,
Wow.
which I thought was the coolest thing. Just to help out with the people as far as giving supplies and all that stuff out, man. I wish more entertainers and athletes would be in that positions, and politicians, man, to go out there and help these people out, man. This is something. It's gonna take a while for this to get over, man. This
Yeah.
is this is big. This is like our fires last year big.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
that type of deal. It's big. So Californians, we give our heart out to Texas, man. We praying with you, man. Hope everything works itself out. And people, please check on your people if you got anyone out there to make sure they're okay.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, it would be dope to see who that athlete was, because That's not on the front page, but that's something that we would talk about because we would
Yeah,
want to get them flowers to whomever that is. So we will see what's up with that.
yeah.
Um, we we typically go back and review stories that we've talked about in the past, and I saw this particular come up about Carmelo Anthony and the fact that so his trial date has been set. So we will
Mm-hmm.
see what happens. His trial date has been set for June 1st of next year, 2026. And I don't, is he staying in jail for this whole time?
And I think he's
Uh,
still out. I think he's still out of jail.
okay. One count of
He's
first
out.
degree
He hasn't
murder.
been.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
out on bond or bail bond. He's out on
Um,
bond. So yeah, he was able to, and I think he was able to get his degree. I don't think he could attend this. He couldn't attend the
he couldn't
ceremony, but I think he
attend.
was still
Yes,
able
I
to get
saw
his
that. He
testimony.
couldn't attend the ceremony,
Yeah,
but he got his degree. Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
that's that, man.
listen,
Go
yeah.
ahead, because I got something I want to say about
That,
it, but go
no,
ahead.
I'm saying that's I just two families, man, that's going to be affected for the rest of their
Hmm.
life, no matter what the outcome is.
That's what I was saying,
You
right?
know,
I mean,
you
there's no silver lining. There's no
there's
silver
none at
lining to
all.
this, even though it was an unfortunate, bad situation. The athlete was the athlete. He was what he was. Carmelo Anthony is who he is. A pretty high GPA student. So I mean, out of character. But again, we're not going to rehash
Yeah,
it and go back into what happened. Unfortunate for the young man who lost his life. Austin Metcalf, we're gonna put his name out there, be respectful. So Austin Metcalf, we're gonna be respectful of that, and then we'll see what happens with
yeah,
Carmelo Anthony next year when he has his trial. So,
yeah.
man,
I think we'll revisit it then. My fear is just being in the Texas criminal system. I don't, judicial system is scary. I
mm,
believe, especially for any man of color. I'm gonna just be real. For any man of
yeah,
color going through that Texas judicial system, we don't know what's gonna happen. It's a scary situation, and I'm not taking away from anything from Austin Metcalf in the situation. I'm just saying I don't know how much of a fair trial he can get in Texas. Let's just be real. I don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Public perception or public opinion is usually, you can be guilty by public opinion or public
hmm
perception really, really easy. Which a lot myself too. I didn't know what happened to the whole story till more bits and pieces came out. I just think it's going to be really difficult for him to get a fair trial in the state of Texas with all
with
the
a
evidence
jury
coming
of
out.
his peers.
Peers, yeah,
We'll see. We'll
yeah.
see how that works
So
out. We'll see how that works. So yeah, I
yeah,
mean, again, not making light of the situation. We just want to bring that news because we rehash and we talk about the news. I want to say something else too because it just hit me because I saw Marvin in the building. What's the cat's name? And I'm not gonna put my sources out there, but I see some folks in the comments. The not the QB, the guy who got drafted by Utah, by the Utah Jazz,
oh, Bailey,
Ace
Bailey.
Bailey. Okay,
His
it
name,
it,
his
it
name
is
Bailey.
it
Yeah,
is
he's Bailey.
it is. And we went in on him. We did. We were talking about
Mm-hmm.
him. We said, "Hey, brother, listen, come on, act like you got some home training. You've been drafted by the Jazz, Coach Popovich, woo woo, all this. You about to be a millionaire tonight. You woke up with $20 in your pocket,
Mm-hmm.
and tonight before you go to sleep, you're gonna have $20 million in your pocket." And the
Mm-hmm.
perception was that Ace Bailey wasn't appreciative of that. There's always three sides apparently to the story. We know that. I have some sources that
Mm-hmm.
have told me that are within the professional sporting world that have said that don't believe the news all the time. Don't believe the looky loos, the likey likes, and the paparazzi because Ace is there. He's 18 years old. How you expect him to act? But he's showing up. He's in the building. He's working out.
Mm-hmm.
He's learning the ropes of being a professional athlete. So has some sources. I won't give them away because we're gonna need them sources down the road when we get into some other stories. But wanted to clear the air because we did. We went in on Ace and said, "Come on, brother, act like you know somebody and be appreciative of this." But come to find out that you
I,
know what, he
I
is
I hear
showing up.
you. I hear you
Yeah,
100%. He's
Yeah.
showing up. I've seen
Yeah.
him. I've seen a couple of his games. Or I've seen one of his games on ESPN, the Summer League.
Yeah, he
It's all
scored a
good and
few
dandy.
points. He doing
But
him and Bronny doing what they
yeah,
need to
yeah,
do.
he kind of nice, kind of nice little alley oop and everything.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that doesn't excuse your attitude, man. When you got drafted or your demeanor. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes let's be real. We've all been in situations that we didn't like, but you had to fake it, right? And that doesn't mean you even have to do that when you're young. They make you do it when you're young. When they take you to your aunt's house, you don't want to be over there. Your mama tell you, "Hey, boy, you better not. Don't be
You
over
better
there acting the fool. You
listen. You
better
better
act
act
like
like
you good."
look. Don't touch nothing. Don't
Yeah.
break nothing. Say
So
hello to everybody. Yeah.
yeah, say hello and be nice. So I'm not gonna give him a pass on that. I mean, you get your demeanor and the fact his agents, little TikToks his demeanor as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's also a learned behavior. I think Ace is probably gonna fit in. I think he's gonna be good. Like I said, if worst comes to worst and he really want to get out, you're nothing but an hour away from Vegas, bro. Get on the plane and go ahead.
That's
Southwest
about
costs
an hour away from
$49. You
Vegas.
good? Yeah, yeah.
South. Yeah.
So
Shouts
I
out to
think I think
Southwest.
all
Yeah.
that being said, yeah, I think all that being said, I think he's showing up to work. Yeah, let's be honest, he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
You're not doing something you're not supposed to do. That's what you're
No.
supposed to. Somebody hire you, give you $1 million. You're supposed to show up to work.
Oh, I'm gonna be on time. I'm
Go
gonna
to
be
work.
early. I'm gonna be there the night
I
before.
live there.
Listen,
Hey, I'll be
I'll be
like
there
Chad
before the
Johnson. I'm sleeping at
Janitors.
the facilities. Hey, Chad Johnson said he used to sleep at the facilities this
Did
first
he?
few
Yeah,
years.
he
He didn't
showed.
go
Yeah,
home.
Ocho think I said he used to sleep
Yeah,
at the facility. Listen, they will
yeah.
know
So
me in
shoot.
the laundry room because that's where I would be as well. So wanted to put that out there
Yeah,
and gives the clarification on that particular situation. So shouts out to my sources, our sources, and the fact that we wanted to still keep you in check, Mr. Bailey. Make sure you, if you
sir.
need to, check your agent. Make sure that they are representing you appropriately. Um,
Hey,
we
brother, be a role model. Forget that. I'm not a role. Be a role model. Shine that. Be a role model. That needs to be our new motto. We need to be
that
role models.
that's gonna go on somebody's shirt, boy. Look, hey, I'm gonna be on the plane
Yeah.
for about 16 hours. I'm gonna design that while I'm in the air. So be a role model.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's gonna be the next
Yeah,
one.
be a role model.
Um, we're gonna fly through some of these stories because I want to be cognizant of your time, and plus, like I say, I still got to get ready for my trip and wait till the last minute. I wait till the bottom of the ninth to do what I need to do. Dwight
Here
Howard.
you go.
I
Baseball
know.
now.
Hey, so Dwight Howard, brother, is he? I don't even know how to say
He
this.
tripping. That's what he doing.
Eh, eh, I, I don't know about Dwight.
I don't
First,
know either, man.
okay, right, and not trying to be funny or nothing like this. But for a minute, I didn't know he was. I didn't know he liked women. Right, because
Well, he had a kid before him.
but we've seen people go
Yeah,
both sides. But there was all this. There was some
I think that's what he
conversation.
does.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay. So now
What?
here's the
What? You want
story.
me to close? You don't want me to say it again? I said no. I don't care what that story said. I think he switched. I think he bats for both teams. If that's a fair analogy without offending anybody, yes. And there's nothing wrong with that, man. That's your sexuality. That's what you like to do. But
Okay,
yes, I don't care what that
keep
story said. I
keep
know he
that
had a
same
woman
energy because
before.
we're
He
gonna
had a
tell a
baby.
story for folks who may not know, but you know the
Yeah,
story. But keep that same
yeah.
energy. So this story right here is apparently Dwight Howard was married to Amber Rose.
Mm-hmm.
No, Amber Rose. Yeah, not the Amber Rose that y'all thinking about, not the Kanye Amber Rose, but Amy Luciani, also known as Amber Rose Howard. Apparently, they were married for about a month. Now she wants to file for divorce. And the old Eddie Murphy joke, if y'all have ever seen, I think it's Raw or Delirious, she wants half. She wants half the assets. She wants alimony. She wants, after a month of marriage, she ain't dribbled no balls. She ain't been in no practices. She was, I'm just confused by the entirety of the story because one, I didn't know which way Mr. Howard was going. And you're right, I don't care about it. Do what you need to do. But then find out he was married. Now to find out they're getting a divorce and to find out now that she won't half of his money and assets.
That's wrong. That's super wrong. Yeah.
What we gonna do about this? We're not gonna do nothing. But what would you do if you was in this situation? Because this can get messy right here.
I mean, first of all, I don't think she has any. I don't think she has any. I don't think. I hope. I hope the legal system doesn't sway her away after being only married for 30 days. It's almost like that's almost like you can take. You know, you can buy an electronic and take it back. Matter of fact, some cars you can take back after 30 days. You know what I'm saying? So the fact of the matter that she, you know, she's been married to this person. Obviously, she probably the person is who she thought he was, and now she wants a divorce. Okay, that's fine. Should you leave with half the man's assets? Because regardless of what we think about his sexuality or his personal relationships, he was a dominating
Yes.
basketball player that made hundreds
Yeah.
of millions
I
of
think he's
dollars.
still playing
She
overseas,
didn't
right?
make any of that.
Yeah.
No, he played in the Big Three. I thought he played in the
That's where it
Big Three.
was. That's where it's big three.
Um,
Yep. Yep.
yeah. So he's still able to make money off his skill set. Why do you feel you deserve half of that? You deserve a half of what I made in the 30 days we was together. Yeah, I'll give you half of that. But you don't deserve 50% of everything he's made or everything he's accomplished over his career. Um, that's my sister. I hope the courts favor that the same way. But I mean, man, we live in a crazy world, man, and everybody's too happy. And everybody
Yeah.
think there's entitled to some things that they're not really entitled to. It's just unfortunate that she feels that way. And to me, in 30 days, if you feel that you married this person in your relationship and you feel you're just unhappy, you got to get out now. I mean, why would you want to take anything? I don't want anything from you. We're done. I just have to go back to what I did, you know, what I was doing before I met you, right?
Pack your
And be in
suitcase
that same
and just
circle and
roll
do
out.
those things. And roll on out, man. It ain't. I mean, you don't deserve half of his stuff because you was with the man for 30 days,
Yeah. Come on.
legally
Come on.
married with him for 30 days.
Come on
That's
now.
just being ridiculous, man. And let's be honest with you, that gives a bad stain. It gives a bad stain on women that try to marry athletes or try to be with professional athletes, right? Because now you got more professional athletes that's going to be really resistant to the fact that getting into a maybe possibly serious relationship with somebody because of situations that happen like this. I'm with you for
Mm-hmm.
30. I'm married for you 30 days, and now you're trying to take half my stuff. I mean, it's not. That
that
doesn't
that
work, man.
that's
That's just
not
not a
right.
cool look.
And she says the value
Yeah,
that I add cannot be bought, but yet still she wants half of his stuff. And this is horrible because a happy time for them because at the end of the year, Dwight's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. I mean, so that's big time. But now he's got disco on his mind. Come on, Amber Rose.
yeah. She tripping, man. She don't get half, bro. She ain't put enough work in to get nothing. Half 30
Yeah,
days, brother. You get what? You get your 2 weeks severance pay, and that's it.
man, you
You
get
know, that's
cost of
it,
living.
man.
That's what you get. You you
Your four
get
weeks of pay.
you get a free Happy
And you
Meal
know
or
what's
something.
funny? That, that statement you just said,
Yeah,
what she's gave to the relationship, you can't be bought. But yet you're putting a price on it by wanting to take half. That doesn't. So it can be bought. You just that is man. That's just that kind of just upsets me. That's just sad, bro.
there we go.
And I'm not even
Can't
a
make it
Dwight
up.
Howard fan, but like,
Yeah.
don't nobody deserve to be
But
in
still,
that.
yeah, right.
That's
No
foul.
one should be treated that way. We want it all to come out and hopefully the right way and legally and all. But man, come on now. Even if you were together
Yeah,
in California, I don't even know if they're in California, but what is it? 7 years in California, and you're kind of legally
yeah,
a couple or whatever. But 30 days,
yeah,
jumped the broom 30 days ago, and then you want half of his stuff. You want 50 million because he worth something. He worth something.
yeah. He worth a pretty good penny. That's for
I
sure.
don't know. Let's see. Okay, y'all don't want to leave no comments because we talking controversial stuff. I know it's okay. It's all right. We about to get real controversial now. Maybe staying kind of in this
Hmm.
same lane. Maybe it's funny because I know the stories tonight, but Montel has no idea where I'm going. So I'm looking at his eyes as I go through some of these stories. You guys. One, let me ask you this. You know who Taylor Swift is?
Yes.
Been to her show?
No. Seen on TV. Seen her perform on
Okay,
TV, but
so
that's
you've
about
seen it on
it.
TV. You've seen it on TV. So have you seen that there's a brother that's in her entourage? There's a kind of heavyset brother that's in her entourage that dances and has kind of had 15 minutes of internet fame. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm, I ain't seen that.
Okay, so there's this one black dude who's part of her ensemble who dances, and Taylor and him actually have a handful of interactions during the show. He's kind of blown up, becoming very popular. I say all that because looking into this story here, having seen the very toxic climates in NFL locker rooms, this player right here is starting a LGBTQ targeted youth football camp. The reason I bring up that Taylor Swift's dancer is because that is his brother. So, man plays for the New Orleans Saints. Colleen Saunders is his name, is the player's name. And his brother, who dances with Taylor Swift, is Cameron Sanders, dancer and choreographer for Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. Very interesting right here. I don't know how this is going to work, but I applaud the courage of this man, of Colleen Saunders, for starting an LGBTQ targeted youth football camp and using his brother, who's got status and stature, right? Because he's Taylor Swift, money, and all that stuff to do this. Your thoughts when you read this story, and I give you some of that back end of it. Your thoughts on: do you think that this will be successful, and will it be accepted? Or I don't
He's
even
gonna
know if
have a
accepted is
hard
the right
time.
word. I don't even know if accepted is the right word. But your thoughts on this story, and if you think there's going to be any
Yeah,
success for it.
I like I do like the idea. I mean, the LGBTQ community is made up of different facets, so I'm not quite sure why that label has to be on it. I guess it's for kids that just want to play football, right? And they happen to be fall in that realm. But one, what's the age groups? Like, I know people say that they're born with the way they feel and all that stuff, but I mean, how do you put a child at youth camp in that age group when sometimes youth are not fully understanding what their sexuality is?
Okay.
You know what I mean? So how can you target? I mean, that's the part I get a little confused with. Like, who are you targeting with that? Usually, I mean, I know they say some people know that they're they feel that way when they're born, and they always felt that way. But I still think you're in a state where you're kind of trying to identify which you are sexuality. So, I mean, if you like football, you like football. It doesn't matter what you are, right? Your sexuality has nothing to do with football. It's just like you like the sport. So, putting that label on it, I'm not quite sure. And who you're targeting, that's even more, because who identifies himself like that?
Yeah, and I'm scrolling fast because I'm looking for any age group, but it doesn't say an age group. It just says youth. But this falls into
Or
line with
somebody
kind of the
just like,
conversation that we've always had about should there be separate but equal,
yeah,
right? And is this that the
yeah,
first entrant into something like that, a separate but equal, or just having an opportunity for folks who do identify that way? There's no specific age group listed in the story here, but it just says youth football camp.
yeah. So that's the part I'm not understanding. What's the difference? Why put that label on it besides just putting a youth football camp? Because if a kid likes football, they're all willing and can participate. What's the That's my part, which kind of confusing what the difference would be. And how do you identify that targeted audience at the youth level? I don't know how that is. I mean, that's the only part I want. So as far as the success is concerned, I'm not sure how successful it will be. I hope it turns out tremendously successful for him, but I don't know how successful that will be. Acceptance within the football world, I think he's going to catch a lot of slack.
Mm-hmm.
Not probably up front, but indirect. No one's probably going to say nothing to him up front or say anything about it, but probably indirectly, people will make comments about it, and they'll either support it or not. Because a lot of these camps, they bring out other stars to help them partner with the camps.
Right,
Typically, a
right.
lot of
Yeah, other
times,
brands and things
you
like
do the
that. Yeah.
camp, you bring
Well,
out your
and that's what I got
teammates and
highlighted right here, right? So some
yeah,
kids, a handful of folks, I don't know what the percentage is, 60, 40, 50, whatever the case may be. Some folks are saying, cool, I wish that something like this had been done while I was coming up. But then there's the 180 degrees. Other
yeah,
folks saying youth and LGBTQ shouldn't be in the same sentence, quote unquote. So he's getting those comments as well.
yeah.
Hopefully he sticks with it and doesn't give in to some of the hate. But man, this is a high hill to try to climb.
This is walking that thin line, that
Yeah,
rail
yeah,
line, and we already know. And remember, he's playing in the NFL. They don't like controversy. They don't like things that take away from the
yeah.
game, eyes of the game, or distract or attention, a la Colin Kaepernick, other attention getters. I don't know if this will fall in the same category, but if it seems to blow up or cause too much distraction, you never know what's going to happen as far as the NFL is concerned or what they're going to do on it. I don't. It would be interesting to see if he gets the NFL support behind it, not just his name, him being a player, he's starting this camp. Is the
Yeah.
NFL going to say, "Hey, we want to help you promote this camp and be a part of you and backing you up and promote it as well"? That part, once if he gets that part, I think it'll really, really take off. If he doesn't get that part, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I wish him the best of luck. I understand his ideology, but I just don't. Like I said, I'm not quite sure how he's going to target that audience.
Yeah.
Like, where's
How is
that
he going to
audience
get
going to come
players,
from?
right?
Because
How
I
much
think at that young
clout?
age,
Yeah.
you're
How
not
much
quite
clout does
sure
his
where you're
brother
at,
have? Right.
right? Or where you
That's his
fall
brother
under
right
that,
there. Just he can
especially
get
under those
folks.
categories and labels. I
Mhm.
don't know where you fall in. So we'll see.
Man, we'll see. We'll see what's up because again, just by having his brother who's got the clout and the kind of the internet stardom by being part of Taylor Swift's crew, that'll get folks probably in the stands. But again, that won't get players on the field. So we'll see how that works out. Like Marvin said, will they even have enough players for the league? Will they have enough people who want to? And is this gonna be tackle? Or is this gonna be flag? Because flag is coming up everywhere, and I'm down for some flag football as well. So that could be dope. But we'll see what happens, man. That's we'll see what happens. We'll give him his props for at least trying that. I just
Oh,
that's like
salute,
betting
man.
against the
Salute to
house.
that, bro. That's a great
It's
a
just
great
betting
idea.
against the house.
That's a
Yeah,
great idea. And you know what? To be honest with you, he's trying to make everybody inclusive in the activity of playing
yeah.
football. I believe that's kind of what his drive is. I think that's a beautiful thing. I just think you got to be careful. You got to be really careful when those things come in those places because, like you said, you have the 180s that are going to be super resistance from there. I just would love to see the business plan. Like, how do you target that demographic? To be honest with you, that would
Hmm.
be the only thing. And what does that demographic look like?
We'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully they make it through. Now, speaking about other sports and other types of other folks playing sports that they typically have not, we got women coming through and doing the thing. My favorite sport. Shout out to the women going to listen. I always got to have a baseball story. I always got to have a baseball
Mm-hmm.
story, bro. We about to have a women's professional baseball league.
That's not
Come on,
softball,
man.
baseball.
No, this baseball, brother. They throwing the hard ball. They not throwing the big ball. This is the real deal. Holyfield right here.
I think long
Don't
overdue.
don't poo poo. I was gonna say don't
No, no,
downplay
I'm not
this.
pooping on it all. I think it's long overdue. I think it's a great opportunity while the WNBA is kicking off and they figure that they paved
Mm-hmm.
the way how this works.
Mm-hmm.
This is the perfect opportunity for them to be able to pave their way and get in there and do it. So I I mean you got to think you probably have a lot of very not you don't you have a lot of talented women out there that can play softball, right? Because that's all they're
Yeah.
allowed to play up to the collegiate level. I would love to see that transition from that talent to be able to go play major leagues women's baseball. I think it'd be a great. It's just gonna be a great opportunity. I think I'm all for it, man. I really am. I'm not
Listen,
against it at
I'm gonna
all. I
buy
think
you
this
a
is gonna be
jersey.
something
I'm gonna buy
special.
you a jersey. I don't know where the teams
You heard it.
are.
We got it on tape now. Go ahead.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna buy you. So let's see. They will launch 6 teams in the spring of 2026. Uh, More than 600 players, 150 will be chosen for the league's fall draft. I'm gonna buy you a jersey for a team that's down there by you. I know there's got to be something down there in the Southern California area. We gonna be rocking Team No Sleep women's what is it WPBL jerseys, ladies and gentlemen.
That's so.
Hopefully they good.
Hey,
Yeah,
great. Quick pause.
yeah.
Hey, have you heard of the banana league or banana
The
something?
banana team. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
They be out there dancing and doing the thing.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
seen the special on them over on 60 Minutes. Man, they taking baseball to a different level, man. I
yeah,
mean, people may think it's maybe like it's kind of globetrotter
yeah,
like. Is
yeah,
that probably the right word?
yeah.
But he sold out 20 major stadiums.
It's bringing
Um,
a thing to baseball that you have complained about. It's not.
Entertainment.
It's bringing the entertainment. It's no longer slow.
Hmm.
They out there dancing. They got the umpire dancing. They doing the thing, and it's not just 9 innings of the pitcher versus the batter kind of thing. So, okay,
Hmm.
we going to a bananas game.
Yeah, yeah, man. I'm on it, man. I'm trying to keep up with you, brother. I'm trying to
Keep
keep up with
keep up with the bananas. I think their
you.
tickets
Yeah,
are pretty.
they pricey.
I was gonna say they pretty high too.
Yeah.
They the Caitlin Clark type of tickets. When they come to your town, the bananas sell out, and you got to pay for that. So man,
Yeah.
okay, we will see. Look at you, it's bringing up the bananas.
Yeah. I've got
Let me
women's
bring
league
up
and
this.
the Banana Boys. Yeah, we
We
good.
bringing up the banana boys. I ain't mad at you. Couple more stories here, y'all chime in if you want to. Don't be afraid to speak up. We talking some things, not too heavy tonight, but um, yeah, we want to keep it somewhat light. Uh, you follow the Olympics. You follow track and field.
Hmm.
All right. There is, and I sent you this story right here. Lolo Jones is she's, she's an American. I don't want to say idol, but she's an American. Uh, she's a hero, right?
She's a legend.
LSU
She's a legend in
legend.
track. Yeah.
That's the word I was
Yeah.
looking for, right? I mean LSU. Listen, she's quick. Lolo Jones got some speed. Shout out to her for that. All of her collegiate history. Then went over from college to professional track and field. Was doing hurdles. Then switched over to bobsled.
Hmm. Yep.
Over on bobsled. But right now she's going through it in a negative way. Right. The long story short, reading the story here, we'll go through this. She has had an altercation with the folks in uh, I think it's New Jersey at the Olympic Training Center about care, about medical treatment, about physical therapy and things like that. She got into a verbal altercation, called one of the coaches out their name. Now she's banned from the Olympic Training Center while she's trying to train for the Olympics. It's becoming a story because she really does need the PT, the physical therapy. She really does. If she's going to compete and make the squad, she needs to be out in the training facility doing a thing. But she's been banned from it for another few months for making that some obscene statements. I'll just say that she called one of the coaches out of her name. I'm wondering to you, in the heat of the moment, heat of passion, she thought that she was going to be able to get the support and the care and the medication that she needed when she went to the facility one day, but she was told no. Do you think that she should be banned from the facility and from all medical care with the fact that she is, again, an American legend American hero who has done so much for the sport in terms of visibility and all those accolades that she's had? Something small like
Um.
calling somebody out their name, did that kick you out of the
Um.
building?
That means they don't deem her as a legend anymore. Let's just be
She's
perfectly
42 years old.
honest. Either they feel, yeah, they
Okay.
feel her skill set is
I'll
not
put that out
up
there
to
too.
par
She's
what they need.
42 years old. So is she out
Yeah.
of over her prime or not? I don't know. But again, she's 42 years old.
I don't know. That's not for us to determine because we know. I mean, we got LeBron, right? You can't say somebody's over the top
Mm.
because of their age, but the fact of the matter that they don't see her that way. That's why they let her go, and that's why they don't have a problem banning her from the facilities. They don't feel they don't they're not seeing what her worth is or equate her worth to something being worth that. So they, if that was the case, they just called her out. They banned her for just calling someone out of their name in the heat of a moment in an argument, especially at that high level when everything is competitive. You want to ban her from facilities, then you obviously that means you don't want them at the facilities. Period. Because I can tell you right now, I've been in a situation where guys cuss out coaches, when
Hmm.
guys have they have their word. I mean, you see it on the hard knocks and all that
Oh
stuff when
yeah.
those guys
Oh
get
yeah.
into coaches and all that stuff and having their words, and they don't get banned from the facilities because they know they still have a worth on that field or worth on that team. The only time you ban people or you get rid of people like that is when you feel they don't have a worth on the team, and it's sad because she's such a track, like you said, legend.
Yeah.
And when she was at the peak of her game, and I think she's probably inspirational to so many young ladies to be in the sport and the fact she's had this much longevity in the sport and being able to capitalize on and do those things. The fact the facilities doesn't think she's worth it, that's why they banned her. And that's pretty much the truth. I don't think calling someone out of their name is not. That's just the reason to start the paperwork. You know, if it wasn't already started, but that was the
That's
reason
the
to sign
example that
off
they
on it.
gonna
You know what I
make
mean?
out
That
of
was the
her.
reason to sign
Yeah.
off on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I'm
That's
sorry.
too
That's
bad.
unfortunate, man. I think she's
Yeah.
very talented. Yeah, yeah. She was something special. Um, and she was, you know, I'm gonna lay it out there. I know I'm married and everything, but back then she was very, very attractive.
Yeah. I mean, don't get it twisted. Yeah. I mean, Lolo Jones was. She also became an
That's
internet
just
celebrity just because of
yeah.
folks were looking at her and watching her train, watching her do the thing. So I mean, that didn't hurt,
Mhm.
but she kept it professional
Yeah.
and kept the eye on the prize and tried to get folks to look at her talent and look at what she was doing as opposed to just looking her in the shorts, that kind of thing. So
Hmm.
appreciate her for that. But it's been 4 months. Her suspension runs through August the 3rd. Denies her access to the training facilities, the weight room, sports medicine, housing, nutrition, all that.
Yeah.
She got
Okay.
nothing.
Yeah.
So she's training out there in
Yeah.
the parking lot trying to get ready for the Olympics while everyone else is doing the real thing. And she's out there at, I don't know, Crunch, Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I mean, that's not. It's not funny, but I mean, you know, I hope that wasn't her whole livelihood. Just banking on being at that facilities and that's her living scenario, and allows she puts, you know, has some money put away or something like that. But for them to be able to, it's just it's crazy, man. Weird. It's what have you done for me, you know, lately syndrome. And if you haven't done anything for lately, and they don't see any promise in you, then you know, no matter what age you are, no matter what you've done to the sport, they don't have a problem getting rid of you. And it's sad that she's been suspended. Now she has to go back, kind of start all over again, try to catch her win back, catch up to the other people that's been doing this for the last 6 months, and hopefully be able to be at a competitive point where she can be in a situation to win or be or qualify, which is going to be difficult, man. You take 4 months off, or you're 4 months behind in that kind of training. That's almost like a lifetime, especially
Yeah.
and unfortunately, especially her at her age.
At her age and at that level, right? You really can't
Yeah.
take it. Again, I don't know about that level. I was good. I wasn't great at the sports that I played, but at that level, I can just almost guarantee you that the deterioration happens quickly, especially. I mean, the strength training that's necessary. I can only imagine. My gym is dope, but I can just only imagine what they got at.
Oh yeah,
Oh
all
my
the latest
goodness!
technology
Come on,
and
Brian.
flexology stuff they got. Yeah, man,
Say
everything
that
they got
again.
going on, man, is state of the art. And the fact that you've been removed from that for the last 4 or 5 months, and then you're expecting to go back in there and do hopefully pick up where you left off. I think that's just an unrealistic view.
I don't know how many more runs she got, but we're gonna wish her the best, and hopefully she can appeal or whatever, and get in the building. Maybe sneak in one night or something, so she can
Hmm.
just work out or something. But we wishing you the best, Lolo Jones. All right, man. Let me bring up. I got like two stories, and that's it.
Hmm.
And then we gonna wrap. Ask you about. We talked to baseball, talked to track and field. Did you ever play soccer?
No, not really. Watched it a
Yeah.
little bit, but didn't really play. I mean, you got me into soccer big time, late, you know, back in the
Yeah. Okay.
women's
Okay.
soccer.
So you didn't have your kids in soccer or anything when they were growing up because y'all were mainly
Nah, they
football.
didn't really. Yeah, they was all in football.
Well, we're both in the technology field, and technology is taking over sports. Technology has taken over soccer completely in China.
Robots.
In China, they don't even need nobody playing anymore. Look, you don't want to play? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We got robots in China that will play the game for you. So the whole squad is a humanoid robot, ladies and gentlemen. That's how they
Man, where'd you
getting.
get this story from?
But I can't listen. This is straight from the AP too, brother. This not from. This ain't World
Yeah,
Star
no, I
or
believe
this.
it. I believe it.
this.
Wow.
This is straight. I don't have any video of it because, or maybe I do. No, I don't have any video. But in China, they have AI powered humanoid robots that are in competition and playing both sides of the field for soccer. They don't need you anymore. You don't want to play. You don't want to. You want to get paid X number of dollars. You know what? Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have
but I
this
got a
robot
question
go out
for
there
you.
and do the thing.
I have a question for you. Is that really? I mean, do fans really want to see robots play, or do they want to see human play? Human. And the reason why I bring this up, I just do the comparison to like, remember when they used to have the robot wars go
Yeah,
against each other?
yeah,
That's so far I'd rather watch UFC or boxing than I would rather watch two robots go at it. You know what I mean? The fan base of a UFC is way much bigger than somebody two robots
true,
going at it in that
very
type
true.
of event. So I
That's
don't know
true.
how this is going. I don't know how this is going to pan over. I mean, it's cool in theory and idea, right? Get robots play, it's pretty cool. But then I don't know actuality
You
if
you
that's.
can't get excited about wearing a robots jersey, right? I can get you excited about wearing a women's professional baseball league jersey, but you can't get excited. 3-on-3 humanoid robots. All right, here's some more of the backstory. I just set it up a little bit, but it didn't go very well.
There you go.
Right. During the match, several had to be carried off the field on stretchers because they tripped over themselves or the software wasn't right. So the match wasn't very
What you mean
athletic.
carried out on a stretcher? It's a robot. What you mean? You mean cart? You
There it
mean
is
wheeling
right
off on a
there. They
wheelbarrow or
took
something?
they took the robot out on a stretcher instead of just scooping him up in a wheelbarrow. They put him in. I'm just, hey
Wait,
brother,
wait, 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 wait. So
look
you
at it.
got robots playing, but humans carrying them off on a stretcher.
Make it make sense, Lord. Make it make sense. There it is, folks. Again, if there wasn't pictures,
Oh,
you wouldn't
that's
believe it.
different, man. That is crazy, man.
Workers carry out a T1 robot from the Booster Robotics during the inaugural Robo League robot soccer competition held in Beijing.
Hey,
Ah,
James,
man,
James,
this is
my
new.
brother, I
Yeah,
love you to death,
holla.
man. But you got to quit coming up with these stories,
I'm
man.
coming with him. I'm coming with him.
Last week you came up with the whooping story, and now you
Oh,
came up with.
oh, wait for the next story. No, wait for the next one.
All right, come on, man. I'm cool with the robot. I'm cool, but go ahead, go
All
to the
right,
next
well, I
one.
would say, what's the
What you got?
point? So again, we not going to pay for this. Apparently, we're not going to buy no jerseys. It
Nah,
looks like there was a handful of people in the audience and in the crowd, but
and
kind of
that was
looks like
all
it's
people that was
more
controlling the
kids though.
robot.
Yeah, it was just the workers, right? Wasn't no fans. Looked like it
Hey,
was more
you know what
kids
though?
though. Yeah.
The way that would work, and in my opinion, and I'll be real quick, the way that would work is if the crowd got to pick, like, and I would say for basketball, let's say football, they get
Mm.
to pick the play, and the winner, the percentage of whoever voted for the four plays that come up, they run that play against whatever, and then
Yeah. Now you
they
reaching
get the
to
outcome.
now you messed around and got soft. Now I done I guess rubbed off because now you trying to find the glass half full.
No, I'm just saying that's the way it would work. The way it got it currently work, that ain't gonna work. But I'm saying if you can
Yeah, it's not
if
gonna
you can
work,
have an
man.
input in the game, controlling the game on how it actually comes and what plays they run,
Good
kind of
lord.
how you do in the game you pick. I forgot. Remember back in the day, you used to have that little cyber football game, and you could pick the play that they ran, and they ran it. It was about robots playing against each other. I forgot the name of it. You know what I'm talking about, though,
I know
right?
what you're talking
It was
about.
way
Yeah.
back in the day. I'm aging myself big
Yeah.
time.
You
But
old school.
if it, if it's something like that, I think people will get involved with, especially with all these techie guys and video game people. You actually get to pick, and then it actually happens. That will work. But currently, man,
That's what's
that was
happening,
a
brother.
waste of money.
Wasting
That
money.
was a waste of money
Robots
right
out there
there.
3-on-3, and they can't even just like scoop them into a wheelbarrow. They got to have two people carrying them out on the stretcher, like it's
That's
an actual dude. All right, we'll leave that alone. We not gonna mess with the Chinese. We're not gonna mess with the Beijing because half of the stuff I own is made in China, so I don't want to mess with it. All right. Um, there's another league. You brought it up. This is the last story that I got, and then I'm gonna stop while I'm ahead. What was it? What was it last week? It was what? What was the crazy one? It wasn't
You did the whipping, man. They
the
get whipped
whipping.
when
That's
they
right.
get
They were
yeah.
the white dudes was whipping each other because there wasn't no brothers out
What
there. It wasn't right. It was a white dude. They was whipping each other with a whip, and that was a competition. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't see that story, please watch last week's episode. It was insanity, and it still doesn't make sense. This one kind of makes a little more sense, but it's very, very. Let me go through it. Have you heard of this league, the Run It Championship League? I can't even say it out there.
nah.
Home of collisions. I bring this up because again, to your wheelhouse, kind of the football wheelhouse, and kind of a rugby wheelhouse. Reason why I have challenges with this is we need some protection. This is the game right here, and this is the matchup. Two big dudes. Bam.
Oh, I've seen this before. Yeah, I've seen this. I have seen this before. I didn't know this was a league. I thought it was just something they did. Okay.
Listen, and you see folks in the audience for that.
Yeah.
My problem with this, only problem I have is, come on, and wear some protection. I,
Mm.
you got nothing on. All you got is a mouthpiece. But you really are coming at each other. What is that? That's about 10 yards apart.
Mm-hmm.
That's about
Hey,
that's about.
man.
But they
Stupid
look at
is and
this.
stupid does, man.
Bam! Look at
Hey,
that, boy. They striking each other. That's rugby right there, because you can see the ball that they carry.
yeah, this is more of a rugby competition,
Good
so
God.
I see it. They do. I mean, they do it actually in a rugby game, right? They say this is the same actual thing that happens in a rugby game. It's just now you have nowhere to dodge or run. You got to run into the person.
He's straight
I
running
don't know
downhill on somebody.
what country is this in. This is
This is
U.S. Is this the
Dubai.
U.S.?
This is Dubai.
Dubai.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because you see my boys
Yeah.
right here in the front on this one, right? They got their gear on, their stuff on.
Yeah. I mean, I
Mm.
don't know what's so
Oh my
exciting. What's
goodness!
so exciting
Took
about
his ankle. Look at that. He don't even want to look at him. Took his ankles out.
I don't know what's so exciting about this though. Like what
Mm.
did you just run at each other and the person that's last standing is that's what this is? I mean, I don't we got that already and a whole bunch of stuff. I don't this doesn't excite me. I mean, the fact that it's two big men that's running into each other like that, okay, cool. But I would spend no money on this if that's what you're trying to ask me to go do with some friends. I
So
wouldn't be a fan.
Marvin is making a statement. Yeah, football needs to come back because we're reaching for stories. But the reason that I bring this up is I don't see this as being entertaining as well. And I think the definition of entertainment, the definition of sport, the definition of competition around the globe, we saw the whipping, we saw the what is it, the two women versus two guys in a boxing match. We see this right here run downhill with somebody full speed.
Saw people slapping each other, right? The
We
slap
see,
thing,
right,
you
we got
slap
the
each other.
slap fights. Ain't none of
Um,
this ain't cool. In
my
my
question is, who puts the money up to sponsor these kind of events? Like, is this just some rich people that are just so bored they want to do something, or I'm not sure where that comes from. Now, I do that run it thing in Dubai. It kind of makes a little bit more sense than it does over here in the United States, right? Because of rugby's is a
yeah,
popular sport over there, and the different things the different competition with cricket and all that stuff. Where it's just different sports are different there. Um, and we're looking at actually from a U.S. centric, so it's a little bit different. But that was not as bad as the other ones, right? It's not as bad
true.
as the other ones. You
Yeah,
see
there's not
technology
as
trying to
bad
get
as
into
two
sports
cats, hitting themselves with a whip.
with a whip, man, or sitting there and let another man just slap you, or another woman just
Yeah,
slap you
come
in your
on,
face to
brother.
see if you fall down. Like none of that. We're reaching for entertainment value, and you're trying to call it a sport. It's not. I don't think
Yeah.
it's a sport. And that's just my opinion. I just don't think it's a
No,
sport. I don't
I agree with
understand
you, and that's the reason why
what's.
we're bringing it to fruition and bringing it to the attention. So
Yeah.
yeah, Marvin. Yeah, we are reaching. I mean, we waiting for we waiting for to see what Shador does when he hits the field with the Browns. I'm waiting to see what happens with
I
Najee
mean, well, we got
Harris.
the Bronny and Cooper Flag summer
Yeah,
league
I mean,
game.
we got that happening. We got that
That's
happening.
that's
We got
that's going pretty
WNBA. We got
crazy.
the All Star. We got Angel Reese out there with the me bounds. All right, so there's a lot of other things happening, but
Yeah,
this
but
is out
that's
of left field.
you know what? That's just going with the flow, right? That's kind of not. I know we haven't had too many exciting stories because there's really not a lot going on.
Right.
A la baseball season, you know how that goes. So everything slow down when it comes to that.
See, there you go.
But
White, that's a dig right there. That was uncalled for. That was uncalled for.
but I mean, I think it's good for us to slow down and kind of dig into different kinds of stories and things like that because it's kind of it ramps us up for when the seasons or when the different seasons come along.
Yeah.
I think the most exciting thing that's been going on is free agency in basketball right now. We see a lot of people, a lot of moving parts, which is
Mm-hmm.
good. The salary cap's affecting a lot of people. They can't move the way they should move. We just know Jeannie Buss I know she's on the cover of Google or not Google, but whatever news, MCM's news, smiling because she's getting her
Yeah.
$10 billion
$10
from
billion,
the owner
ladies. Mm.
of the Dodgers. But I got a story for you, which is a trip. Before we head off, this is a
Yeah.
little bit more. This will be more your realm, Marvin, right here. So it looks like the owner of the Dodgers and now the Lakers also is a big time supporter of ICE detention centers. He's a large investor in that. And as we know, there's a large Latino population that supports definitely the Dodgers. I'm not quite sure how much of the Lakers, but definitely the Dodgers are a large Latino population that supports that. And yet he's one of the primary people that are funding ICE detention centers or one of the big time investors of it. So I'm kind of wondering where this is going to go with that whole thing. Like, your biggest apparent, your biggest support base that funds sells out all your Dodger games and gives you a lot of money. You're the one person. You're the person that's investing to detain them and their family,
Yeah.
based on the situation. That story, I'm waiting for that to kind of start picking some ground. I know other stations ain't gonna talk about it because they don't want to get on the owner's bad side or whatever, or however they want to do it. But we will talk about it. I think that's the situation, and that's such. It's just funny how they're willing to take our money, but they're also willing to lock us up.
My goodness. Willing to take our money, but willing to lock us up.
Yep. So
Marvin
he's
said it's going
burning
to be
he's
empty
burning the candles
seats.
at both ends.
Mm.
Huh?
Marvin said they're going to be empty seats.
I mean, we're gonna see. We'll see. But I mean, that makes you think now. What about some of these other owners? A good investment idea. Other people jump on the bandwagon too. I'm quite sure you may not be the only one.
Yeah.
So what other owners are involved? Or in other situations. So you're okay with with destroying the communities and doing these things or having these
Mm-hmm.
locking up illegals because that's not people that are also U.S. citizens. Not going after just criminals like you're going after everybody. So you're a big funder or a big investor in this situation, and yet also you're big supporters of one of your products. It's going to be good to see how this thing turns on out.
Man, you stirring up the pot.
This might be more
this...
controversial than Diddy, so we're going to see what happens.
I forgot all about Diddy. Diddy thought, hey, okay, I'm sorry. Diddy was ready. He thought he was going home. What did you say? Diddy said, take that. That's what the judge said.
Yeah,
okay,
he said, take
we'll
that,
leave it alone. Take that.
Yeah.
Go back and sit down. We'll see. I mean, because you talk about the Dodgers and, we've had the Shohei Ohtani conversation and how he is the poster child of the game now. And they're not going to mess with him because they just not going to mess with him. They're going to point fingers everywhere else. We'll see how that works out.
But for me, the discussion would be especially from me to you, or discussion for us is like, how does Major League handle this? Because Major League, one, the demographic of all of Major League is majority Afro Latino, right?
Yeah,
that's fair to say. That's a fair comment to say.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your owners who are investing in detention centers that are suppressing our people, whether they came here illegal or illegally. You're locking them up, right? Without going through a due process at all. So with that being said, I don't think the players are doing anything or do too much because that affects their livelihood. But cultures, it's big, right? Dominican Republic, they recruit out of. They do all these other different places, and those people support their athletes that play in the professional league and all this stuff. And if they're here, happen to be on a visa or not a visa, or they happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, they can get swooped up and detained. Like, when is Major Baseball governing body going to step in and say, hey, you know what, we need to figure out what we're going to do? Because it's a conflict of interest, you investing in this and making money off of this, but yeah, we take their money when they come to our tickets. We take their money when they're buying our memorabilia. We take their money when they're celebrating us and they're coming to our parades when we win games and all this stuff. Half of our workforce sometimes is only Spanish speaking only. They come from these countries. Like, when is somebody, let's be real, like, when is somebody gonna get pissed off and get mad and be like, what's going on, man? You can't do that. It's almost like the David Sterling thing, right? Or Donald Sterling, excuse me, from the Clippers.
Yeah.
You're an owner, but you can't be saying racist stuff when half your team is, when majority of your organization staff is African American. You can't be calling people racial names.
Yeah, and
so
to answer your question, Marvin, yeah, they do go to Latin countries, and I think from Latin countries is the primary recruiting grounds for baseball.
Yeah.
I don't want to cop out and say that it all comes down to this, but at the end of the day, it kind of comes down to sponsorships and money and funding and things like that. Is it easier to is it big enough to deviate the funding sources? Is this problem, this conversation big enough to stir the pot of the TV rights, merchandise rights, the money deals that are coming in, all the brand deals and things like that. Right? To us, it is, but
Yeah.
to the owners, to the stakeholders in MLB, any sport, it almost becomes down to a balance sheet conversation. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We don't support it. We don't like it. We wish it was different, but man, don't mess up. We don't want to mess up this
I hear
toy.
you. I hear you on the balance sheet
Yeah.
discussion, but also where's the humanity and respect conversation? Like, where's the humanity issue? Because me personally, I believe ICE is wrong in
Hmm.
swooping some of these
Yeah.
people up and
Most definitely.
breaking up families. So that's the humanity part, and then just the respect for people for a culture that's been so supportive of your efforts for you to support the very people that locked them up and detain them. Come on, man. There's got to be some type of morality in this, and it's funny, what we call them the people that the internet or whatever, the people that go all these swole, goes and can shut you down or all that stuff. That internet mob. I don't understand why there's no conversation about this. Why are we not talking about this? Why are we not having those conversations about this? We had it with Pepsi. We had it with other things and situations going on when Pepsi was
Yeah.
supporting apartheid.
Yeah.
People were talking about that and stopped doing that.
Yeah.
When Levi's was over there deteriorating Africa with pouring their dye in their rivers and all
Yep.
that stuff, people were banning Levi's. Matter of fact, us as black people, we just put a ban. We banned Target for a few months
Yeah, we're not going
because
to
of the
Target, man.
things they promised to
That's
be in
tough
Target.
too, boy. Listen, see, I mean, that's tough. I used to. They know me. They used to
I'm
know me,
saying,
but
I'm just saying. So
yep.
when is the Latin community and people of color going to stand up against the Dodgers and the major league organization saying, how you going to be supportive of something like this, but yeah, you still want to take our dollars? Like, I think we're the point in our country where people have to stand up and fight for what they believe in. And I'm just saying, let's just be real with it. If you're supporting and building the same concentrate or prisons that are locking up my people, especially when some of them haven't done anything, and some of them maybe they don't have the legal paperwork, but they've been here for 12, 20 years and never done anything wrong and been a taxpayer and doing all that stuff. And you're taking kids that have nothing to do with this situation and breaking them up just because you said they don't have the proper documentation, and then they got to go through this whole process. I know that's wrong, but also, man, that's also inhumane, and that's where we're losing. That's where the conversation needs to start. And I don't understand how you can support an owner that's locking up our people. I'll tell you right now, if they was locking up all black people, if Popeyes is locking up black people, I'm not eating Popeyes no more.
Yeah, yeah. I was going to
And
ask and say as a counter to that, who that has enough invested in this situation has the platform to make enough noise.
a lot of people, the people on the players on the Dodgers organization have enough of a platform to
So
say, you know
it's
what?
almost like, again, I'm putting the mirror up to them, or putting it up to us
Yeah,
and to them, right? You are invested. You see that this is wrong. We, or the ICE and everyone is going after your people. You are that person that's vested in this. You got something to lose because your family is impacted. What's stopping them, the ones who have the platform, from going to rallying and going to the ownership or going to the league office and saying this is not right? Or
I,
maybe they
I,
are and we just don't see it. But I mean, that's the call to
maybe
action,
they
I
are,
think.
maybe we don't see it, and if they
Yeah.
are doing it, that's something different. But we saw it with the NBA, right? They did it with Donald Sterling.
Yeah.
They did it,
Real quick too.
you know, really quick. Like, yo, you're
Yeah.
not going to be
Yeah.
saying those racial remarks and doing those types of things to the players in our league or making those rational. They did it in Phoenix when that one the owner
Yeah.
had those conversations. And
Yeah.
NBA struck in and said, "You got to go." I'm not saying that in Major League needs to, but I would tell Major League Baseball needs to be a bigger voice in stepping into this issue and figuring out what's going on, investigating and figure out what to go and come up with a rational situation. Like, hey, you needed to divest from in those encampments or those prisons or whatever you need to do for your investment. Some awareness. It's funny those other stations are so scared to talk about the situation and never have conversations about this or even bring it up. I don't think we should be afraid of it at all. It should be something that should be a rally cry out there for all those people that support it and say, hey, man, until you guys start to get right or address the situation, let's stop our dollars.
We're not going to come out on the field.
Let's see what happens at that point.
Yeah.
We're not coming out on the field.
Until y'all get right in the front office.
Not showing up in the stand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So kind of like we did.
Least, man, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm saying at least make a statement and say we're looking into this. Make a statement that says we're trying to figure out what's going on. Make a statement that says, you know what we're looking at. Do something. Just don't play Boo Boo the clown and ignore it and act like it's just gonna go away and we're not gonna see it and we're not gonna say nothing and we almost pretend like it never happened. That's not true. Like, let's address the situation, take it head on, and then come up with a resolution.
I'm out here trying to think who would be the person or who would be the group, who could lead that. But again, I'm so far removed from it. We're so far removed from it. And I'm confident that there's somebody brave enough to do it. And again, it may be happening behind the scenes and we just don't know about it. But yeah, it hasn't happened fast enough. Yeah, there's a lot of other things going on in the planet. But yet still, come on, this is important too. Because this is front page news everywhere.
I know you said who's strong enough to do that, to say something. It's Otani. Yeah. Even though he's not Latin American, he stands behind his Latin American brothers.
Don't let him, man. If he said something, they would listen.
They would listen quick.
Wow.
I feel, if you're man enough to play with them and make money with them and win with them and lose with them and go through all these things with them, how come you can't be one of the ones that help stand up in front and be like, hey, this needs to change. We need to address this and acknowledge it. Because it's not fair, man, let's be honest, that's not fair to the fans. It's not. Especially when their fan base that goes to their games, I believe, is almost 70% Latino. It's Dodgers. So that means they're not only they're paying for game, they're paying for parking, they're paying for food, wine in there, they buy memorabilia, they're buying the tickets, they're doing all these things to support this organization and this person, but yet this person is turning around and locking those people up.
Paying to get out there because Dodger Stadium is not an easy place to get to if you've ever been there.
Not an easy place to get to.
In the middle of nowhere.
Echo Park. Yeah. And I don't know if Magic Johnson still part owner of the Dodgers?
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't get rid of that money.
He's still a minority owner, right? Yeah. He's another person that needs to be saying something too. So if you're gonna chop this up. Magic Johnson needs to say something, about this situation to people and figure out a way to address it if he's still an owner.
Yeah, Magic still does own. So what percentage does he own? Magic owns 2.3%.
Doesn't matter. He has a voice.
Yeah, and he's Magic Johnson.
And he's Magic Johnson.
So that
So let's be real. Magic Johnson had made $100 billion, whatever. If they were to exercise him out of that 2.3%, he's still going to be Magic Johnson and still be one of the great people. Matter of fact, he'll be more iconic because he stood up for the people. He stood up for the people in the community of Los Angeles, which is also largely Latino. I don't see why him or Otani can't say something about it. Say, hey, this is wrong. We didn't know the owner was invested in those types of things, and we need to address this situation and go forth.
I just made a marker right there for that point in our show right there, because that will get cut up saying, hey, Magic, you and Shohei band together, make a commercial, do something. I don't need to see no more TikToks of Magic Johnson on his yacht exercising. I want to see a video of Shohei Ohtani and Magic Johnson talking about what's really important.
Yeah, and addressing.
Man, we gonna get it. We stirred it up, boy. We stirred it up.
Ain't that what you told me you always want me to do? Marvin, though. Marvin, no, man. I'm just
okay.
I'm speaking the voice of what a lot of people think.
You are.
I feel myself.
I mean, it's. I won't say it because you'll say it as we close out, but it's true. The purpose of this show is to do the things that we do, and it's not popular. It's not sexy a lot of times either. It's tough. And I had a show earlier and I talked about it. I don't know if you saw it or not, but I talked about a lot of times after we have our show, after we have Team No Sleep, I'm literally in the fetal position here in my studio with a glass of scotch or something because we get so involved with stories that matter. We're not talking about scores. We're not talking about Angel Reese's new shoe release. Props to her on that, though. Congratulations on Reebok and her releasing. We're not talking about that. We're talking about why are there sports out there where people are slapping each other and doing that? Why are the Dodgers sitting on their hands when ICE is out there in front of their stadium rounding up citizens? Why is someone like Lolo Jones, an American treasure, not being allowed to have medical attention when she has chronic back pain just because she flipped off one of the coaches there for not letting her in when she thought she had an appointment? I mean, no one else is diving as deep into these stories. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it alone. Hey, Montel Allen, take us home, boy.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, like I said, always, man, check on your loved ones. Prayers go out to the people in Texas. I know Las Vegas has had a major flood too, not too long, about a week ago. Anybody affected by those by those natural disasters, please, prayers go out to you and your family, especially those 12 little girls, man. That really hit home to me. But again, everyone, please shout out to your loved ones. And with us, like we always say, please get comfortable having uncomfortable conversations because that's how we learn.
Sit, y'all.
Montel and James, bringing the heat. Team No Sleep with champions meet. We're on the mic, taking over the game. No time for rest, no swearing it for fame. Talking sports, breaking it down from the court to the field. All around town, we stay up all night, grinding on the mic, bringing news, real stories on the fly. Montel's got the stats, James got the flow. Together we're two